the record button. Okay, so there's a few of you on here that don't know me. I am a double diamond. My name is Caitlin Wesley. I started 1 year ago as a full-time assistant general manager, and within 6 months, I was able to quit that job and come home full-time to my kids. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background information, but we're going to hear from Nicole. She is going to tell us about her story, and then we have just some questions for her, and we're just going to learn so much, and I'm just super excited. So if you want to start off with telling us your story.
Hi, you guys. Thank you for having me. First and foremost, I feel honored to be able to, that you wanted me to come on and kind of talk a little bit more about my story and stuff like that. So thank you very much. My name is Nicole Kennedy. I am a double diamond leader. And I actually joined this business with the $9.99 special. So I am one of those people. I did stick around, and I did absolutely nothing with my business pretty much the first year that I was a part of it. I actually first started off as a loyal customer 4 years ago. So I lost a total of 20 pounds on my 90-day challenge. And so from that point, I just continued to use the products. And then Brittany Cromwell, actually, I was one of her very first customers. So she actually just continued to present the business to me for 2 straight years. And I kept on telling her, no, I don't need it. It's not for me, so on and so forth. I just love the products. So finally it hit me, and I said yes to it. It was legit, like, I'm talking 11:50 on June. This is the representation of my necklace. June 30th of 2017, the date that I actually joined. This was my double diamond gift. And I finally said yes. It was $10. What did I have to lose? I was already in the negative. I was already miserable. I didn't have any type of income. I was a full-time preschool teacher. Of course, at that point, I was married, and I was struggling already. So, of course, all of that and sped up. So I didn't actually really start working my business until September of last year, when it finally hit home to me. I was actually in an abusive marriage. I was married to which wasn't anything whenever I first married him, but he turned into an alcoholic. So I knew that I needed to change my circumstances, and I need to get out of the situation that I was in. The moment that it really hit me was when I was sitting in the parking lot on my break on a Friday, on a payday, just got paid. I was so negative. It hit hard. He took everything that I had. I had no money left. And I said, God, I need you. I cried. I'm talking, I dropped to the steering wheel. I bawled my eyes out, and I said, God, I need you. I need you. I am helpless. There's nothing more to me. I'm calling on you. He did just that. The Holy Spirit completely spoke to me and said, Nicole, don't worry, my child, I have you. I heard it. Plain as day. Plain as day. And it meant the world to me. I went back in. Of course, I was drenched, legit drenched in tears. I took an extra 30 minutes trying to collect myself before I walked back into my classroom. And I said, something's got to change. Then it hit me September 12th. I called up 2 of my good friends, now teammates. I called her up and I said, I need you. I said, I need to get out of my house. She said, all right, girl, I got an SUV. Where are we taking your stuff? So before I even did any of that, I started slowly getting rid of stuff. I started getting rid of clothing. I started getting rid of furniture, things like that that I no longer needed because I needed to get out. And I needed to do it fast. I needed to do it while he was at work, and I needed to run. So I called her up. Finally, I had a moment, called her up, and I said, Kristen, I need you. Can you help me now? So she came with her SUV as fast as she could. My other girlfriend, she sat there and she put right around the corner, she held my stuff in her garage. And September 12th, I decided to change my life. I used this business to get out of the situation that I was in, and I ran with it. From that point, all I did was I started promoting back to back. September, I was actually aiming for, because I'm talking by the grace of God, I just hit Ruby. And so I was actually trying to promote to Emerald. I missed it by 150 VV. I was devastated, but I knew that it was only going to push me harder the next months forward. So missed it in September. Okay, I hit it in October. November, I went diamond. And then February of this year, I went double. And then, of course, going triple, trying to lead my team along with me. So it's been an amazing and crazy roller coaster. But April of 2019, I was able to say goodbye to my classroom. I was able to turn around and become a full-time stay-at-home mom. And it has been the most amazing thing in my life. I legit have almost quadrupled my monthly income from being a full-time teacher. Most amazing thing I've ever done.
I love that. And like the strongest distributors seem to come from those who have like the hardships. Everybody has like hard times, but like those who really go through those times where you just need something to change, and then it just clicks. Like it's just there, and then you do it and you fold and you run, and it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it helps when you have your team behind you and ready to run with you and ready to see the vision and want that vision. And it's easier to help them just, want to say, hey, I want the top two. I want the top two. So it wasn't just me. It was me. It was my team. We were together, and it didn't matter. It wasn't about the rank at that point. It was like, who's just ready to run with me? It was the momentum. Like, let's just go. Let's just go. Why are we, let's not slow down with it.
Right. You don't ever want to lose that. And when you have a team behind you who's just like willing to do everything, it just makes it all the better, because not only are you like, you're not doing it by yourself, but you're doing it with people that you sign them up to help them.
Exactly. And that's what it's about. It's not about me. It's not about a rank. It is about living on your terms. And that's what I want for my team. And that's why I put, like, it's not pushing, but I want them to see what it's like, and just, and you know what I mean? Like, you just want them to feel what you're feeling, because it's a great feeling.
Yeah, you want them to be where you are, because since you've experienced it and how much it's done for your life, you just want every single person on your team to do the exact same thing.
Absolutely. Your why has to make you cry. Your why seriously has to make you cry, because it's going to make you push harder. It's going to make you pour into the team that wants it with you.
Exactly. So I love that. I'm already over here like all shaken up. Okay, so the first question that my team had for you was, how do you manage your schedule while you were trying to promote? So you said you were a preschool teacher, and I'm sure that came with a busy schedule and trying to work around that. How did you manage your time, and how did you put it all into your business to promote so fast?
Absolutely. Honestly, between lesson plans and trying to do classroom management, and of course, I am a mom of two beautiful girls. I have a 13-year-old and I have a 5-year-old. We don't sit at home. When I tell you we don't sit at home, we don't sit at home. Like, it's very rare that we are ever at home. So my oldest does gymnastics. Me and my youngest, we do boxing, and we're all three of us are into fitness. We're constantly go, go, go. So with that being said, is one, never lose sight of who you are. Never. Even though you are a mom or a spouse or something like that, never lose sight of who you are, because then you're just going to lose it. You're going to become so stressed and full of anxiety, and it's going to be miserable. So one, don't lose sight of who you are at all. Do what you want to do what you enjoy doing, because you need that. So that was first and foremost. Everything like that came along with my girls, that came first, no matter what. But my schedule, I was up an hour earlier working my business. I made sure that I had a post up before I even got up out of my bed. So I made sure that I had a post up. I made sure that I did self-development. So I listened to, pretty much it was a YouTube video, and the person I always listened to was either Eric Thomas or Denzel Washington constantly. I had them playing every single morning as I was getting ready. And then any messages that I sent out the night before, I was answering in the morning. So then after that, on my lunch break, the first thing I did was post again. I made sure that I got my second post up, and then I followed up with any messages, checked my notifications. I didn't sit with my co-teachers. I was too busy wanting change in my life that I didn't have time to mingle. And sometimes you have to sacrifice some things in order to get what you want. And I'm not meaning that to be mean, like you need to separate yourself from the world or from your friends or anything. I'm not meaning it like that. So don't think, but you do have to sacrifice something if you want something greater. So I didn't sit with my co-teachers. I didn't do any of that type of stuff. So if I didn't have, I made sure that I had a post up, but if I didn't have anything to answer or any messages to, follow-ups or anything like that, then I spent a little bit of time getting that out. But if I was, I guess, in a funk, I just started walking, and I listened to self-development the whole entire time. We get an hour break. So I made sure that I used my time wisely. I didn't use it, and I had carried my food with me. So I guess I just didn't have time to think about it. And then right after work, I did the same thing as my daughter. She was in the classroom with me. My oldest daughter, she went straight to gymnastics after. So I utilized that time that my daughter was still in school. I got out a little bit earlier than her. So I took an extra hour. I worked on my business, got out messages. And then after that, got my girls. We did our thing. Once my girls go to bed, that was it. If you really want me to be honest, I sacrifice sleep. And I'll be honest with it. I didn't go to bed till almost 2:00 in the morning, and I was up at 6:00 in the morning because I knew how bad I needed this. I was missing out on what my girls were doing. My mother was taking my daughter to gymnastics. My mother was taking her to competitions. My mother was doing that. I was tired of that, and I was tired of missing out, and I had to put in request forms, and I had to make sure it was okay with my boss in order to take time off to see my daughter. My daughter compete. That hurt. And it hurt so bad in January when my daughter got accepted to regionals and I was denied. I was denied time off. And I said, no, it's not happening. I'm going to be there. And by damn, I was there. I didn't miss it because I busted my butt to get to double so I could put in my 2 weeks notice and I could say deuces. That was my why. I was tired of missing out. I'm sorry, but that was my main focus, is because I was tired of missing with my girls. I was over it. I was over it. I slaved so hard in my classroom, and I loved what I did, but I slaved so hard in my classroom to where I got nothing. I got a 25-cent raise every single year. What is a 25-cent raise going to do for me? Nothing. And I was over it. It was just, sorry.
You're okay. I mean, you got me over here choking up a
No,
little bit,
it's
but
like I legit sacrificed sleep because I knew what it was going to do for me. I saw everybody else's success, and I knew I needed it too.
you know, and like I was the exact same way, you guys. And when I first started this business, I was an assistant manager at McDonald's working 70 hours a week. And I have two children. I have a daughter and a son. They are 6 and 2. And I missed the first time my son walked. I missed the first time my son crawled. I wasn't there for any of his firsts. And that was enough for me. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, like, just like you, I didn't do my business for literally the first 2 months. I quit. Like, I just stopped doing it. But then something snapped inside of me that said, I need to be home with my kids. I need to do whatever it takes to go home. And that's when I just started rolling, kind of like you did. I hit Ruby once I, like, literally the month that I came back. 2 months later, I skipped right over Emerald and I went straight to Diamond. And then less than 6 months later, on my 1 year anniversary with the business, I went double. And I
Yes.
quit my job. Like, it was that because I needed to be home with my kids. And if your why is exactly as strong as, don't make your why your excuse to quit. That's exactly what I think I'm trying to get at. Is often people will tell you, I need this business because I need to be home with my kids, or I need this business because I need to pay this off. But then they turn it into, I can't do this business because of my kids, or I
Yep.
can't do this business because I'm working so much. Don't
Yep.
turn the why into an excuse.
Yep. Exactly. That's what gets me so worked up is that they always say, "Well, I have 4 kids. I have 8 kids." I have a mom that's on here. She has twins. She's the only income earner. She has 2 older boys. She works 12-hour shifts at night, and still she's about to double box herself for Emerald this month. There's no excuse. Then I have a new amazing. I mean, Stacy is amazing. She has 8 kids and she still is able to do this. Like, they're your why. They're not your excuse. I love that. I love that, Katie. I love that.
Yes. All right. So going back to kind of like what you said there's things that you know that you have to do every single day. So no matter what, it doesn't matter how busy you are, if you're not feeling well, what is the main things that you absolutely have to get done for you every single day in this business?
Okay, every single day is journaling. First and foremost, I wake up every single morning, I journal. Self-development for sure. And then I check up on my teammates. um, I want to make sure that they know that I am going to be there no matter what. I'm going to answer their questions. So I hop in and make sure that all my teammates are good as gold, that they don't need anything at that moment. And then the next thing I do is I work a checklist. And the checklist is it's actually been a savior. I make sure that I build relationships, so that's a must. Build relationships and just reach out. I reach out to any, I mean, I'm not going to say any and everyone because, of course, there's certainly certain people that you want a part, of your team and your business and be able to coincide with. But um, I make sure that I have what I need to do that day. So if I have to fill volume or help, fill volume, or I know that I'm lacking somewhere, okay, I need to get up 10 hosts to post today, or I need to, follow up with these customers because I need this amount of volume or something. So I do what I need to do during the day, based upon my business, what my business needs. And I know that sounds really weird, but I actually need to get a little bit more balanced with that. But I just kind of base it upon what's happening in my business, what's happening with my team members. Because if I don't that's how I feel personally. If I don't pour into my team, then we're not gonna get anywhere together. I know that I need to work on my business too, and I'll tell them that. But if I don't help my team be successful, we're all not going to be successful. And I truly mean that. And I think my team can support me and say that, is that I pour into them enough to where they know that I'm always there. And I think that's the main thing that I try to do, like, every single day. And then I tell them, hey, okay, I'm focusing on my business from this point to this point. um I'm just letting you guys know, if I'm not active, that is why. If I don't answer your messages, this is why. But host the posts, follow up messages, and definitely reaching out to seek new team members. I don't say distributors, I say team members, because that's what we are. We're a team. Um, so um, I mean, that's, I just do it based upon what my team needs, what my business needs, and where we need to go to succeed. If something's going on in our team chat and it's bringing the team down, or somebody's like, okay, what's going on with this host post, we try to figure it out together. I think my team can say that we work together as much as possible, and we grow from there. But it's based upon what's going on in my business, that where I need.
I totally agree. Like, you have to like kind of like push your attention towards certain aspects. So one day maybe, you have new team members that need help, but then the next day you have other people who are struggling to sign customers, or you need the volume. It's just wherever you're needed. And once you step into that leadership position, I think once you hit Emerald, you start to get into that leadership where it's not just about your business anymore. It's about every single person on your team and their business as well. Because if they're not succeeding, you're not going to succeed. And that's the point of this business, is helping others reach their goals.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, I think posting, I make sure that I have 3 posts up a day. There's no excuse why I can't. Um, Even when I was working, there was no excuse why I couldn't put up 3 posts a day. Even if it was just my lunch, and I was talking about my lunch, I incorporated a product, fat fighters or something like that, because that's all that I could afford at that point. Was some fat fighters, or if I wanted a cupcake or something like that, I made sure that I had that post up.
Right. So kind of like going along with what we're talking about now. So how do you focus on expanding your business along with also focusing on expanding your team's business as well? So you know that you need to like show up and be there too. You need to be enrolling customers, enrolling distributors, but you also need to be there for your team. So how do you balance both of those?
Okay, well, so the first thing that I'll do is I will actually, okay, so I see everything as these little branches, I guess you can say. And so what I'll do is I'll actually kind of, I hate to say, break them off into like little trees, but that's what I'll do is I'll actually take my team and I'm like, okay, so here's the leader of this one and here's her downline, and I'll take them and I'm like, okay, let's get together, let's zoom together, let's see what's going on. So I'll take the time and I'll zoom with these team members, say, okay, what questions do you have? What do you need help with? What is something that you want, to succeed in, but you feel like you're lacking? So I make sure that that I make a point to be able to do that with my team, is that I'll actually break them down into like little that sounds really bad, but it's the truth. Like I'll break them down into like little sections, but I make sure that that leader also sees how I lead, so that they are guided in the right direction in order to lead their team. So I'll do that. But I'll also, for myself, to make sure that everything is done and we are together as a whole, is I make sure that my chat stays active, that we're constantly doing contests, we're constantly getting each other pumped up, that there is no negative energy, vibe, anything like that. And if there's a prayer request or something, my team knows that they're immediately putting it in the chat. We're all praying for them. So we are so supportive. And that's what I love, love, love about them, is that that's exactly what they do. Is, they know that if they need something, we're right there, and we gather together as a team. It's not just, it's not just section off. So like one of my diamond leaders might hop over to my double diamond side and help somebody that's all the way down there, that just began or something like that. And we don't care where you are, if you're personally enrolled or not. there's always somebody that's going to be there to help them.
I love that. Like, you can't have a team that's not willing to, I don't know, what's the word? Not willing to lead, I guess.
Yeah.
So, oh, we got a 10-minute mark. But, if they're not willing to step into that leadership position, take control of their team and like learn how to become a leader just like you are, because you've been in that spot, you've been where they have, and you need to show them how to be the best leader that they can be. And I think what you were saying by like sections, like I definitely understand what you were saying. You have one leader with their team, breaking them up and putting them off to the side and having them train, and you kind of just like overwatch, helps them build into a leader where they need to be at. So I'm just gonna go to the last one because I don't want us to run out of time. So
I too much too, so
basically, just like to end it off, is what are some of your best tips to promote? Since you promoted so fast, what are some of your tips that you can give everybody on here to kind of like go along the same line so they can promote like you did or like we did?
Okay, so first and foremost, don't be scared to ask your upline for help. Do not. If you're in the middle of a conversation and you need help, I still do it. I will still hop in our diamond chat and I will sit there and say, I need help with this. And we're all still there to help. So even I still help, I still need help and stuff like that. So don't be scared to ask for help in order to grow and in order to become successful, because we all still need it. So that's the one thing, is don't be scared to step up. And the next thing is don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't brand yourself. You are a specific type of brand. Keep representing who you are. Be strong with who you are, and put that out there on your Facebook or Instagram, either one or both. So don't be scared to step out of your comfort zone, because once you step out, change is bound to happen. So if you continue, obviously what you're doing isn't working, so you need to do something different in order to get the change that you want. Denzel Washington, thank you. So that's another tip, is I really want to share that, is so many people are like, oh my God, I'm so scared to do this. Oh my God, I'm so scared to go live. I'm so nervous. Yes, we are. I'm still nervous every time I go. But if I didn't, then I wouldn't be where I am. So I wanted, I want to really share that. And that's what we preach as a huge entire team itself, because of course we're under Brittany Cromwell and Katie Bennington. So that's the one thing that we definitely preach, is you have to brand yourself. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be ready to step out of your comfort zone. And don't make excuses. There is no excuse. Stay positive. You're gonna get in a funk. You're going to feel like you're defeated. We all do. It's bound to happen. When that happens, stop what you're doing, close the book, walk away, do something for yourself, and then get back in the game. Don't give yourself longer than 24 hours though. Take a few hours for yourself and then get back into the game. Because if you take too much time, then you're just, then you're like, okay, I had this extra day, so don't take too much time. And then just stay consistent. If you have set a goal for how many messages you want to reach out to potential team members, how many messages you want to reach out for host to post, how many you want to reach out for, new LCs, so on and so forth. Set yourself a goal, achieve that goal every single day. Because if you didn't, your business is not going to show up.
I totally agree with all of those. I tell my team the exact same thing. But one other thing that I also tell my team is some of them seem to, get hooked up on not promoting. So they were super, super close come the last day of the month. They missed it only by a couple hundred BV. And then they're in a downfall. They're just like spiraling down. They don't know what to do with themselves. They let it get in the way. And what I always tell my team, don't let that get in the way, because next month you're that much closer to your promotion.
Exactly.
You're so much closer than you were the last month. And it'll only continue to be like that.
Exactly. That's how it was. I was pushing for triple in April, and legit missed it by 2,000.
Yes.
And that was okay, because it turned around, and even though I'm that much closer, my team is that much stronger.
Exactly.
And I'm okay with that. I am perfectly okay with that, because I much rather watch them succeed than have my own success. That sounds really, really cheesy, but it's the truth. It's the truth. I love writing out those promotion pictures. I love it more than anything else.
And it feels so good to have people on your team promoting, because you don't want to be the only person that's promoting. You want everybody to promote, whether it be a ruby or an emerald or a new diamond. But having so many rubies, those rubies turn into emeralds, who turn into diamonds.
Exactly.
And like you said, when I was trying to go double for a couple months, and the month before I went double, I missed it by 100 BV. Left 100 BV, you guys. I missed double diamond. But the next month I came back, and I recharted myself. My team and I, we were sitting in a circle on the last day of the month. We pulled in over 2,000 in volume in one single day. And it just got us that much closer, and we all promoted. So you just have to look at it as, just because you didn't get it the month before, there's still next month, and you have that time to restart or rechart, and you have a new slate, a new beginning to get yourself there.
Yeah, and I want to throw in, and what I always do now is, Amber Parker was absolutely amazing. We were on a Zoom with her, and she said, never start on your month on the 1st. Always started on the 25th. You started on the 25th, you're ahead of the game already. So think of your calendar month from the 25th to the 25th. Never start your month on the 1st.
Exactly. And don't wait for the 25th for all of that volume to run either. Try to fill that volume before the 25th. That way, when the 25th comes and you have a couple orders that got declined, or some orders didn't run, you're only filling a little bit of volume. You're not trying to fill thousands and thousands of volume, because I think one month the next month I was counting on all this volume, and I messed up because I waited till 25th just to see where I was at. And I was missing 5,000 in volume come the 25th. And then I was like, oh snap, what do I do now? And, that puts you in a state of urgency, or where you're frantic, and now you're freaking out because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my promotion, or I'm not going to hit the next promotion. So don't wait until the 25th, you guys. Start running as soon as you can, and try to hit the volume as soon as you can.
Yeah, because then you're going to be too focused on E-Suite and focusing on your numbers and who needs what where, and you're trying to help them make their promotions and their ranks and everything like that, and fill their boxes, and it. If you're doing it from the beginning, you won't have to push at the end.
Exactly. All right. Any last comments? We have less than a minute.
Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
I loved it. Your story was amazing. I was just so glad that you could get on here and tell everybody, because they needed to hear it. And I loved hearing it. It got me excited, because there's 8 days left in the month. Let's kill it, you guys. There's still over a week. So
yep, absolutely.